This is happiness, to be everything at once. Be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Mood Prep. My name is Dave Nixon, and today we're continuing on with old mate Rogan's The Oprah for Men. His 10 rules for life. I'm surprised I didn't think about this earlier. There's a YouTuber called Evan Carmichael that does a heap of rules for heaps of people's lives, basically. And he's got a shit ton of followers. He's worth actually following on YouTube if you're sort of that way inclined. But basically, Evan Carmichaal, Believe Nation, as he says. I hope you Americans enjoyed that. So he's done a heap. There you go, 1.9 million followers he has. He's done a heap of them. And I think he did this top 10 rules by Joe Rogan has kind of been like a very similar to the 10 rules that he did. So I'm sure maybe that's where it kind of came from. But he's done everyone. Zig Ziglar, Tim Ferriss, even old mate Trump's, Steve Jobs, Kevin Hart, and then a heap of other people, both male and female as well, even though ones I just mentioned are all male. Keanu Reeves, I haven't watched that one. Maybe it's time to do that one. Ooh. So that's worth sort of following. There you go. Mel Robbins, Brene Brown. Worth looking at as well, but I think that might be one of the things that I'll sort of feature back from time to time is to go through their rules, the ones that I like and align with. Either way, today we're on to rule number 8, which is spend time outside. Right, and this is interesting. Let's start with the first word, spend, because unlike money, there is a finite amount of time. We have a finite amount of time. Technically, all we have is now, and that's another conversation, but we have a finite amount of time. And so the way that we choose to invest that time is actually really crucial. And I think, 168 hours a week, right? Is it 84,000 seconds in a day, something like that? And the interesting thing around time is that we can never buy time and we can never buy it back. Now, maybe we can extend timelines or deadlines and so forth, but as far as actual time, like we don't get our 20s back, we don't get our 30s back, we don't get our 40s back, like it's fucking gone. And so this is why I'm so big on, like, if you continue to plan for the future, that's all you'll ever do. You'll never actually live, and then you buy a caravan. And it's not, I want a caravan. It's not that you shouldn't have a caravan of sorts. What it means is that you don't have to wait till you're 65 to be able to live the life and do the things that you want. And so the key thing there, I think, with this is going spend. Like, you're going to have the time. Now, depending what you want to do with that time is actually really important, because we either going to spend it or we invest it. And I think the time outside would be an investment, but I guess in a short term of this phrase, spend time outside, would be very different than saying invest time outside. But I really feel like that's exactly what the message is to begin with. I think the other thing there is time. It didn't say quality time. He didn't say quantity time. My input here is to spend quantity time outside. As a human being, as a mammal, we're actually designed to be outdoors. We're not designed to have these things on our feet. That's the whole earthing sort of thing. It's just like, actually, that's called walking, right? I mean, it's worth doing. There's fucking heaps of studies that show that there's a big amount of feedback from the body to be able to get at, like, this electrical current that's connected to the earth. I mean, it's kind of where we came from, stardust, so to speak. But this whole time of actually spending quality time, quality and quantity time outside is absolutely crucial to get some sun and some vitamin D, some fresh air. Like, I mean, I'm surprised I've even doing a podcast on this now that I think about it, but I guess it's something that I have to remind myself. I've got my office, I've got the gym, I've got the dog, and the dog, like, I look at him and he wants to go run outside. He wants to do what a dog does. And I was thinking about this just the other week around training, physical training, right? We often may fall into this space where, like, I don't feel like training. Is that an emotional thing? Because the body is designed. We are given a body for work, for it to be able to do things. And if we don't, like, actually allow the body to do what it's designed to do, it starts to get sick, and it will show that in a myriad of different ways. But then we start to get sick in other ways as well. That's where the disease come from, right? Not disease. Don't just say it really quickly and not look into the word. It says dis-ease. If we're not doing things with ease, then we're in dis-ease. And so the powerful thing of understanding is that your body is absolutely 100% designed to function and to move and to be able to have range and to be able to have, it wants fluids. And if we treat the body separate to how we actually think and feel a lot of the time, we can actually look after the body a lot better, because we're actually seeing the body as this thing that we're designed, that we have been gifted to look after, right? And of course to fuel, but yes, it gives us this beautiful chance to experience life and food and different drinks and all that sort of stuff. That's what the body allows us to do, yes. But we have to be able to look after it so it can keep doing that for us, right? If we keep running a car and taking it full driving and thrashing it or just leaving it in the garage and never getting it serviced, never letting it do what it's designed to do, then it doesn't work well. So it's fucking surprise. The battery runs flat. It has issues, right? It's exactly the same thing for our body. Our body wants to be able to move. It wants to be able to run, get outside, climb things, play with children, hopefully ones that we know. Otherwise you might be in a spot of trouble. Who knows? But my whole point there being is being able to literally spend quantity time outside doing the things that our body is actually like designed to do. The fresh oxygen, go through full range of movement with joints, learn complete I suppose kinesthetic awareness for the body. And people often, depending on their learning preferences and personality traits, can really have this separation as if they're not even a body, which is true. You're not a body, but you have one. And if you don't look after it, then you fucking won't have one. It's that simple. So this beautiful thing about spending time outside, away from being connected to a device, to a phone, to a computer, right, actually takes us out of, and I've spoken before about the Matrix, but it just fucking takes us away from the Matrix. It takes us away, and as soon as we can allow our mind not to start to really connect with all the identity that we're meant to be at work, how we're meant to behave to people, the structures of traffic, all of the things that we have been basically born and plugged into, I'm going to call the Matrix, which we know translates to womb, right? Being outside can just alleviate all of that, because that's the real world. That's the real world. When humans are gone, that'll still be here. That's the real world, right? The Matrix that us humans are plugged into isn't. And so to actually recharge, we have to unplug and then plug back in. Like, that's how we recharge, which is very different to recharging a phone or recharging a computer or any form of battery. We need to plug that in, right? Humans do the opposite. It's a really important, powerful point to understand, because when we do understand that, we can start to, guess what? Embody it. And that's where the powerful thing comes from. So, yeah, spend time outside. I never thought I'd do a podcast on that concept. But otherwise, here we are. That's how it works. But team, I'm out. If you haven't already, by all means, please jump on the Mood Prep community online on Facebook. You'll find it just by searching it. Otherwise, until tomorrow, peace and pizza. Kick today in the dick. Slay the dragon. I'll see you soon.
To be everything at once, be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.